Welcome to our van tour of Sunny the Sunrader, our 1985 Toyota Sunrader. She is for sale, so be sure to check the link below if you want to pick her up. But first, we're going to start on the outside, and my husband Frankie's going to show you all the upgrades that he made.
In order to appreciate all of the hard work, we need to take you guys back to the very beginning, to when we bought Sunny. This is how she looked right when we got her, and there was a couple of big issues that we didn't find out until after we took her home.
That will create water on this floor.
This project has become a nightmare.
But here at F&A, we're not afraid of a little bit of hard work, so we got down to business and completely renovated Sunny the Sunrader, turning her into the beautiful home you're about to see.
First and foremost, this is vintage. It's a classic. This is a 40-year-old rig that still runs like a top, beautiful on the outside and absolutely amazing on the inside. Outside, you have a bunch of storage areas. Some of the doors were worse for wear, so we had some new ones made. All the windows on the outside we've actually removed, resealed, and fixed, and then put them back on. So no leaks at the windows. The front one is fiberglass shut, but you still have the layout, so if you wanted to put in new windows, you could. All the tires are brand new on this car. They're the proper D-grade 8-ply tires. It's the dually on the floating 6-lug axle, so it's a 1-ton axle. It's the axle that you want and that you need for these type of rigs, so it can handle the weight of the camper. Underneath, we put in the Sumo Springs bump stops. That will make it like a nice light ride. It'll feel like you're floating when you're driving around. I love driving this thing. It's actually one of my favorite vehicles ever to drive.
You could definitely feel the difference in the ride as soon as we installed them, and it was so easy for Frank to put them in.
It was extremely easy, and the one thing that I love about it is when you go on uneven terrain and you get that roll, it doesn't feel like you're banging anything. It just feels like a nice, smooth transaction, and it actually helps with the sway as well.
And you can get Super Springs for almost any vehicle. Just go on their website, put in your year, make, and model, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to get a smoother ride.
Let's move on. Up top here, we have some solar lights. They're motion detected, so once that sun goes down, you walk by them, they automatically come on. It's a great feature. It's on all 4 corners of the rig. The marker lights that are up top have all been replaced and changed to LED lights. The back lights and the headlights, those are all original, so you still have your halogen bulbs for that. I love having some things classic on this rig, and that's one of the things that I enjoy having as a classic part of it. On the back here, we put this big window in that actually opens, which could give you a nice breeze coming through the rig when you open it up. So that way you can open some of the front windows and the rear window and get a nice breeze on those comfortable days outside. More storage. I did add solar to the rig. I put a 200-watt panel on the roof, and then I ran the wires going over the top. Everything's nicely secured. This then goes inside to a battery bank. That's a 220 amp hour battery, lithium ion. You won't need anything more than that for this rig. This right here is a 110 to 125 volt cord. It's a 30 amp cord. You can hook up a pigtail to it for a regular drop cord. That way you can plug in, but it is a 30 amp hookup. Another classic thing that I love having on this rig are these pinstripes. These are the original pinstripes that they put on. They look amazing still. I'm really happy with the look of this rig. I think it's just like an excellent, beautiful, vintage rig. Close that door.
It's very cold outside, so we've come in to warm up because this space is actually really nice in the winter. We have the heater going, and the front air and heat both work, so you'll always be nicely temperature controlled in the van. This front area is actually super well maintained. It's all original. Everything in here is really well kept up, which was one of the reasons that we purchased this rig in the first place, because we saw some janky ass fronts. The seats are actually in really good condition too. We just kept the seat covers on them so that they would stay that way. And we've actually got an upgraded stereo system up here that connects with not only the speakers in the front, but the speakers in the back of the house as well, so you can have a party if you want to.
I'm at the helm all the time, and driving this thing is a dream. It doesn't have power steering, but I don't mind, because once you're on the highway or even just driving on the streets, once you're moving, it's really easy to turn. One of my favorite features on this rig is the little tiny window here that pops out. This is like a little ventilation spot, and it's nice on those days where it's nice and cool out, but you don't want to hear the noise from outside. Pop this little bad boy open, and it actually keeps it really pretty quiet in here, even though you're driving on the highway.
so cool.
That's a sweet feature. And that's something you don't get on modern rigs, so it's definitely a cool classic feature of this rig.
You know what else is? The horn. I love that.
Every single one of the features in the front, whether it's vent, bio level, heat, or the defrost, they all work perfectly. Those little switches are great. All the vents are still good up here. They move just how they're supposed to. Nothing's cracked or broken. And just below that area, we have the Bose system. It's a really nice upgraded system. Since Everly's back there all the time, I have the speakers up here because we try to drive when she's napping. So I have everything moved to the front at the moment, but you can have audio in the back from the radio as well. So if there's 4 of you driving around this camper, then you could enjoy the music all together. So we could show you that the parking brake works. If I go to neutral, we don't move at all.
And then the other interesting thing is that button to make the keys work.
Oh yeah, that is kind of cool. So this actually alarms you that you have your keys in the steering wheel still when you open up your door, which is really cool on the 1985. As you see, I shut the door, the alarm goes off. But we could go ahead and we could start her up actually. You could hear her start up. Like a top. This thing's a dream. It's literally the dream. Kind of want to keep it. Can we keep it?
The reason that we're selling is because we have a child now, and this just isn't the ideal rig for a growing baby. As you guys have seen as we've been traveling in here, we're struggling to figure out where she sleeps. Her car seat does fit in the back really nicely because there's 2 extra seat belts back there. It's just not big enough for our family of 3. So we think this is the perfect rig for a couple, a solo person. If you've got dogs, it's great too.
I do think it's good for a family of 4 if you're going on some trips here and there, as well as just the fact as like if the baby's not gonna roll out of the bed.
Yeah, if you have an older kid who can sleep on the couch in the back, perfect. But if you need a crib setup still, not so much.
Yeah. Here's a really neat feature on it as well. If you lock the door and you close it, it unlocks. It unlocks if you're not actually holding the handle up. So if you lock it and you want to keep it locked, you lift the handle and you close the door.
They didn't have everything automatic and electric in 1985, but they were smart.
So here we have a brand new 22 RE engine. This engine only has about 3,000 miles on it. We've driven it around from Canada down to Virginia, snowboarding some mountains along the way, having a beautiful trip. But it also still has a 2-year warranty on this engine that is transferable to the next owner. That's a huge break. You know, to have one of these rigs with a warranted engine is just insane to think about. You will not come across one of them like that. It has a fuel injection here. Everything is pretty much brand new underneath this hood. This is a 3-stage aluminum radiator that I put in. This thing keeps it nice and cool when you're climbing mountains. There's 180-degree Fahrenheit thermostat also underneath the hood. So you could climb any hill. We just did some 15%ers and she stayed right at the middle there. You guys can check out all the things that I've replaced and made new underneath this hood in our link in the description. That will have our listing where you could find the availability of this rig.
And don't think that you need to be super handy to work this rig or be able to know what to do under the engine, because Frank's already done it all for you.
Yeah.
So really, it's just the general maintenance upkeep. If you know how to check your oil, you'll be good.
I've even cleaned and oiled the K&N filter, which is like a 3-day process. But now it's good for like 60,000 miles, so yeah. While Alex is taking some photos, she does need a bath, but honestly, it's too cold outside right now to give her one. So once the temperature is right, she'll get a bath. Our friends, Define Adventure, they're going to be showing the rig for us. So when they have a day where it's nice and warm, they're going to give her a nice little bath for us. So we appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Well, look at this classic. Oh, here's a feature inside that I really like. Right here's a little switch. You pop the switch on, and you get a light inside the step. And this light also illuminates, so you have a light outside the rig as well. Really cool little touch. Oh, I really like these mirrors, by the way, too, because they stick out super far. So that way you can see everything, no problem. And you have the closer mirror and the further mirror type of deal.
And the cool thing is the car doesn't have to be on for the windows to work because you just crank them up.
Welcome to my crib. Come on in, guys.
Welcome to the kitchen. We have upgraded this entire area. We have our custom epoxy poured countertops. We've upgraded to a super deep sink. We also have a Camp Lux 2-burner propane stove that's hooked into the two 15 to 20 gallon tanks that we have outside. You can get both to fit in. They're both full-size barbecue tanks, so it's actually great. You have propane for so long, especially if it's not winter and you're not also using the heater. But this cooktop has been amazing. You can cook delicious meals on here. We've also upgraded the lights up in here. This actually switches to 3 different colors and you can dim and brighten it as well. Over here, we've installed a 12-volt marine grade fan. Whoa, feel the power.
Yeah, you can. It's a very strong fan.
It's got 2 speeds and you can swivel it all the way around, change it in all the different directions. This thing is really great, especially if you're like cooking and you've got the windows open and you want to get the breeze moving through here. So perfect.
The one really nice thing about this fan is since it is a rubber fan, you won't get hurt.
You're so brave.
Yeah, you literally won't get hurt touching that thing.
Then over here, we've got our full-length mirror that moves into the bathroom. The previous owners of the rig actually removed the black tank and replaced it with a Nature's Head composting toilet, which we love. This has been completely gutted and cleaned, so don't worry, you've got a fresh composting toilet.
Pop it open, let's look at it. Nice and clean.
The composting toilet is actually hooked up to a vent so that the air is getting pushed out of the rig, and honestly, we never get any smell from the composting toilet. If you use it right, it's amazing, it'll last forever. Up here, we've got our upgraded faucet. This is actually a shower. So this whole area is your wet bath. You've got your camping shower with a drain in the floor. And because you got a hot water heater, it's gonna be a glorious shower.
That hot water heater actually has a crazy amount of adjustment on it. I have it just over warm and it is plenty hot for us. So you could adjust it to really hot if you want, but I don't personally think you need that hot.
There's also a couple of built-in soap dispensers just to make life easy on the road. Hand pump soap, you've got your shampoo, conditioner, body wash, toilet paper up here. It's a small space, but it's everything that you need to be very comfortable on the road.
Is it a small space though? Because I feel like that this is a big bathroom.
It's a big RV bathroom.
In a rig, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's smaller than your house bathroom, but
a big, especially for a 21-foot rig, like, that's a huge bathroom.
Down here, we've got a built-in garbage can, so that's easy access. You've got storage down here for all of your cooking things. And then underneath of here is where all of that electrical system is built in.
220 amp hours of battery. You have an MPPT controller that gets the solar to charge that battery, as well as you have a 1,000-watt inverter, and then you have the typical converter that they come with. So this right here has a ton of extra spaces for you to be able to add any type of 12-volt system that you want, as well as you have some breakers here. This is the main breaker. Everything here is labeled. The inverter is from when you're on the road and you're traveling and you want some type of 120, you just literally turn on that inverter at the inverter itself, plug in, and you could use it. You'll get a ton of use out of that while you're on the road and you're not plugged in. But if you want to electrify the outlets around the space, you want to be plugged in for that.
We also completely renovated this area. Before, it was a big cabinet, so you had no prep area for your kitchen, which for us was an absolute must. So now you've got this nice big countertop space to cook, and then underneath we've built in a huge storage area.
That is a big space.
There's also a propane and carbon monoxide detector down here to keep you safe. And then finishing up with the kitchen, we've got a Dometic fridge. It runs on gas and propane.
It's funny because it's off, but it still feels cold in there.
We have it off right now, but this thing has given us absolutely no trouble. It fits so much more food than you would expect, and it's really handy to have on the road. Plus, because it runs on 2 different fuel sources, you never have to worry about losing it as long as you've got propane going. Even if you run out of electricity, which also never really happens, it works.
The nice part about it is it really just sips on the propane. It doesn't use a lot of propane. We have the Max Air Fan directly above our head. It's an automatic, so you just turn it on, it opens itself up, so you don't actually have to do anything with the button. You have the several different speeds. I think it's 10 speeds. And then you could also reverse the airflow. So depending on what you want, if you want to bring air in or you want to pull air out, you can do both. Max Air Fan has the rain guard on it, so you don't have to worry about when it's raining. When it's open and working, you can still use it. You won't get any type of moisture inside the rig. Up top, we have a ton of storage for your clothes up here. We kept the original casing, but then we redid the doors up here, made it look really nice inside. On both sides, you have these LED lights that actually have a range from 25% to 100%. So right now is on 100%, that's 25%. You can see how much dimmer it is, 100%, and then off. So it's just a little touch, really nice, convenient, really easy LED light, uses very little bit of power. On this right side here, we have the couch area. It's an L-shaped couch that also turns into a bed. But underneath this couch houses all the equipment. It's the water tank, the water pump, the hot water furnace, and the heater as well. Or you could come down here, pop this bad boy open, lock it into place. One piece over there that locks in, and then another one there. This is nice and sturdy. Sit on it, no problem at all. You could lay on it. You could have a couple people sit on it when you have your cushion down to make it comfortable. But then you could also access everything underneath here as well.
Originally, that was the only way to access it.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was a very poor design. You know, when you need to work on a system, you want to have multiple ways to get to it to make your life easier.
So we did have these custom cushions made, and they perfectly fit to make a lovely, almost full-size bed. It's actually super comfy.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
You fit there no problem.
Yeah, so if you had some sheets, then you could turn this into a super serviceable bed for extra people. And the really nice thing about this is even when the bed is out, you still have room to access and walk. You can walk from the bed to the bathroom, to the kitchen, whatever. And then also if you say, I don't know, if you just wanted it up to sit like this, sometimes, especially with Everly, we'll put the couch into bed mode just to play on the couch and like have her have more room. It's a really great space inside of the rig. And it's super easy to put up and take down. Done.
That was quick. On this side here, we created what we call the coffee station or the morning hangout. You know, what we've done here is we made like a nice coffee table with kind of like an airport style seating. You can hang out, you know, with your arms on the table, chat with the other people on the other side. This opens up the area, makes it to where you can have probably about 8 people sitting here just hanging out, just having a good time. In the top here, we put in the phone down charger where you just put your phone right on top. It has 2 120 plugs, a USB-C and a USB port, so you can charge all your devices right here. Also, underneath here, when you pop this open, you have an outlet down there as well that this is plugged into. So if you wanted to store any devices in there and so nobody could see it, they'd be nice and secure, and you could charge it down there as well. But yeah, I love this little area. I like to pop my shoes off. I kind of tuck the leg in, kick this leg up here, and you know, it's a really chill spot to be able to look out the big window and hang out. Also, these windows over here, they all fully open. We'll slide this one open for you right now so you can see. And the screen actually opens as well, so you could get outside if you need to. No, I don't see why you'd have to do that, but the screen closes, keeping the bugs out, and slide that shut. And then you got the handy little locking system right there. So that way your window doesn't open on you when you're driving down the road, or you could secure it at night so nobody could get into your rig while you're in it. So I really quickly want to talk about the heater. You have your intake for the air to come back to the heater here, and so you never want to block this. And then you have your discharge air coming out here. This comes to the main space. There's a second one in the main space right below the refrigerator. And then we have a third one that is actually in the bathroom, which makes it nice and warm in the bathroom. So that when you want to have a shower, you can have like a heated space to take that shower. That's like so freaking nice. I don't know if you know this, but like a lot of rigs don't necessarily have like that individual heated space, and it gets kind of chilly when you have to shut off the the water, turn it on and off to conserve water. So this one here has it heated, so you can be nice and warm the whole time you take that shower.
All right, so now we are moving into the upper bed area. Some people use this as storage and then just sleep on the couch, but actually we've been quite comfy up here. It's almost a queen size bed. It's like a full XL, and we did get a thinner mattress so that you would have more room here because it is a little bit tight. We've added this nice fabric here so that it's soft and plush and comfy for you to be in bed. Both of us sleep in here quite comfortably. Because it is over the cab, unfortunately you can't sit up in bed, but it's really easy to get in and out. And then you're in your living space. In the bed area, we did add an extra light up here so that you can have your evening bedtime light. It does dim. That's a really nice feature. The windows have covers. All of the covers of all of the windows in the space are custom made and they are insulated. They're nice and thick, so they're gonna keep out the heat and the cold, whatever you need. On this side, we have a fan for some extra bedtime blowing. So the bed area, although it's a little bit small, it's still very comfortable with the light and the fan and the mattress. We sleep great in here. Ooh, and the window covers actually like totally black out the space. So you'll wake up and be like, what time is it? So good.
And if you're wondering where the front cab is, boom, it's right underneath there. So you can still pass through. This is awesome because now you can still black out your space fully. It keeps the cold air in the front and back here stays nice and warm. But I love it just because of the fact that you can black it out and have privacy back here if you want to.
We also have window covers for the front windows up there. So you cover all those windows, put the pass-through curtain down, and it helps keep the space really nice and warm so you're not trying to heat the front cab also.
One thing we almost missed, the old school air conditioner. This bad boy still works, and it kicks butt. We've used it in the summertime. It helped us when we were in Florida. Little guy still goes strong, so we kept it up there. We put a new shroud on top of it, custom made, because the old one was just breaking apart. So it has a brand new custom made shroud on top as well.
We absolutely love Sunny the Sunrader, and we are sad to see her go, but we've spent so much time, energy, and love putting so many little details into her to make her a perfect rig.
And every time we've traveled in her, we've had an absolutely incredible time. There were so many memories made in this rig, so we're happy to pass her on to somebody who's going to create more memories with her.
And we hope that you enjoy all of the extras that we've added to the rig to make it a really comfortable, livable space. It's got all of the vintage vibes with everything that you need to live a comfortable life in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that the 80s were a different century?
I know.
We were born in a different century.
We were. It's crazy. I was talking about that the other day. I saw a rig that was from 1897 or something like that, and I was like, it's crazy to think that that rig, like that Jeep that was used in the military, is 2 centuries ago.
Crazy. But this 1985 Toyota Sunrader could be yours. Check the link down below and come and check her out.
You know what we didn't add?
What?
That it has a brand new engine in it.
Oh, yeah.